Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this installment of Immigration News. I'm Jeff Peek, a lawyer here with the law firm of Peek & Tolan, and today we're going to talk about some information that came out recently regarding F-1 student visas and M-1 vocational visas. On July 6th, the Trump administration issued and immigration issued news that they're going to make some changes for the fall semester regarding online classes and the eligibility for F-1 students to be able to participate in such classes. Earlier, you may recall, especially if you're a student visa, in the spring and summer semesters, they allowed people who were on F-1 and M-1 visas to participate in online classes due to the COVID coronavirus and the changes that schools were making to avoid infection and spread of the disease. And they basically allowed that. You could do an online class, and there was no problem with that staying in status under the terms of your visa. However, this new publication that they just issued indicates they will not allow that. You basically cannot be in a program that is completely or exclusively online. Now, they have made some exceptions to that. We're going to talk about that. Now, most people who know if you're on an F-1 visa, you have to maintain a minimum of 12 hours every semester. If you're at a university or college, if you're in an English program, that's actually 18 hours. And what they're saying is, right now, the only way you can do an online class would be a maximum of 3 hours if that program is exclusively, or if that one class is exclusively online. Now, they're allowing universities to develop and publish a hybrid program, which would be a combination of some distance learning, online classes, and in-person. Could be tests or in-person lectures or in-person office hours. Each university has to make a decision if they're going to do that, and then inform immigration pretty promptly here in the next month if they're going to do that. So it's imperative that you be contacting your DSO at your university, at the International Students Office, so that you know what they're doing and if they are going to switch to this hybrid program. Because if they're not going to switch to a hybrid program, you are going to need to transfer to university or college that does have a hybrid program or a full in-person program, because they will not allow you to maintain your F-1 and M-1 status if it is purely online. They're asking you actually to leave the country immediately. So that's something you definitely need to investigate into. Now, you're also going to have to get a new I-20 issued by your school. Even if you already have an I-20 that's already been issued into your passport and it's valid for another year, they're saying they want a new I-20 issued because they want the schools to indicate in these new I-20s if they're developing a new hybrid program. They actually are asking you to do this by August 4th to get the new I-20. So definitely be reaching out to your school immediately to figure out what their plan is. Now, also, there was some earlier information issued. If you needed a work permit because of some unforeseen severe economic hardship and unforeseen circumstances, you can actually apply for a work permit. I don't know if many people might not have seen this. And obviously, with everything going on with the coronavirus, if you had an on-campus job that you lost, or they couldn't give you the hours that you need, or they had to cut your pay, and you relied on that job as part of your studies, you might look into filing for this new work permit that allow you to do that. The other people who may be eligible, people who've lost, seen substantial fluctuations in the currency value from their country. They may have seen increases in tuition or living costs, unexpected changes in the financial conditions of the source of your sport. So imagine if you had somebody, your parents, family member, helping with the cost of college, and they lost their job or they reduced income. That would qualify. Increased medical bills. Obviously, if you had symptoms of the virus, you had to incur costs there. And then it says any other substantial or unexpected expenses. You can only imagine, with everything going on, there are many of those unforeseen, substantial, and unexpected expenses. So pretty much I can see an argument for almost every single student to qualify during this very unique times of the coronavirus for a work permit, authorizing them to work off campus. If that's something you're interested in, you should look into that. There's forms you can file. You can talk to your school about doing that. Obviously, you can contact our office if you need help. I hope this information has been helpful to you. We're so sorry that you guys are having to go through this at the last minute. Instead of enjoying your summer break, you're now having to scramble for information and maybe even potentially change schools depending on what your school is going to do. I hope that your school moves to a hybrid program so that you can maintain your status here, and we wish you the best of luck. Again, I'm Jeff Peek with Peek & Tolan. Please call us if we can help you in any way. Have a great week.